episode of the Pink Table Talk. My name is Dana Johnson, and I'm your host. And joining me today is my special guest, Lynn Burt. Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
Lynn joins us via Zoom, and it is an honor and a privilege to have her with me today. We are coming full circle from about maybe a little bit over a decade. I believe Miles was in a stroller when we first met you, and he is now a middle schooler. So
he's gotten big.
Yes. So we talked a little bit about behind the scenes, you just kind of simply sharing a little bit about your work with the American Cancer Society and how we met. So if you could just give our audience a little bit of a backstory, that'd be great.
Okay. Well, let's see. I heard about American Cancer Society, and then I saw about for the walk and all that, and thought, well, volunteer. So I volunteered and kind of was a greeter and worked my way up to on the committee. And that was hilarious and so much fun. And then work in the survivor tent. And that's actually how I met so many people, and you and your little boy at the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of new friends through the years, just from working at the Cancer Society and that, and working at the walk.
Awesome. So I kind of affectionately have said this to Jolene, who is a special person because she kind of brought this full circle for us. I had asked and reached out to you earlier in the year, and I kind of just want to make people feel as though if it's within their comfort zone to be able to share, because the stories are personal and they are straight from the heart. So we circled back after a conversation with Jolene to see whether or not if she knew anyone that would want to share, and she put out your name, and I was like, hey, let me reach back out and see if she's feeling comfortable now, to be able to share. And I feel honored because we are here at the end of September, and right around the corner is October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And within the next week to 2 weeks, we will be coming upon the new date because of us being in the pandemic now for the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, which is going to take place on October 9th. So it's a privilege to be able to have your story at this time. I feel like it was destined for it to be at this time and not anytime sooner, that we'd be able to share, our walks of life together. And I kind of feel like we've become a part of just the family, because we would look forward to seeing you every May down at Veterans Park. And I've got pictures still in my phone of you hugging Miles and, like, oh my gosh, where is he? And just kind of remembering the fact that he started with just handing out the roses to the survivors.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I ever really shared with you why we chose that tent in particular. Did I ever share with you?
I think you did, but your mother, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So my mom was diagnosed and was a survivor for a period of time, but lost her battle on January 8th of 2003. So it was important to me, having already been a participant with the Coleman Foundation and captaining a team with them, that I wanted to give back in a different way. And the American Cancer Society offered up the opportunity to be able to work in the survivor tent. And I wanted to be able to find some way where I could give back to them personally. So that was why I chose the survivor tent. And Miles got to pass out the flowers. So it was kind of like looking at it full circle, seeing the women who would come back to the tent, because as you and I, both know, me having now been an advocate and you working in the survivor tent, being a survivor yourself, that day isn't always promised.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is unfortunate, but it is a reality. So if you could maybe just share a little bit about your story as a breast cancer survivor, that would be great.
Okay. I look so forward to the walk. Like I said, just meeting everybody and seeing, I do look for faces, from people I've met in the past and everything. We do have a lot of cancer, both sides of the family, unfortunately, but not really too much of a history with breast cancer, distant relatives. But I just went in for a mammogram, and then they called back and, like to check again, and kept getting called back in. And I thought, okay, this tumor is different than other tumors I've had in the past. And I walked out and they're like, we're going to do a biopsy. And I just looked at my mom and I said, this one's cancer. Knew it. And she's like, well, we're just going to kick butt. And I had terrific family support and a lot of friends. And I was very lucky. It was caught extremely early. I was stage 1 and ended up with a lumpectomy. I was diagnosed July of 2002 and did a lumpectomy, did not spread. They caught it. They said if I would have waited, it probably would have spread. So nothing in the lymph nodes and that. So surgery, radiation, and then the 5 years on the tamoxifen. So I feel very, thanked and blessed.
Yes.
I have a lot of friends since that have gone through. Actually, another friend just had her surgery a few weeks ago. So almost the same story as me. So I walked her through and I said, you need anything, I'm here. And that. So it's, with all the research and everything, it's great, but it's still, I think, maybe more common, which is kind of sad. Because I'm hearing a lot more people. I know years ago you did not talk about it. It was all kept hush hush. So the more everybody can get the word out, I just love that. And it really does open everything up. But so that's, and then I, heard about American Cancer Society and started volunteering with them. And they kind of is like a second family now. And so, it's in talking about the circle. I mean, I see Jolynn a lot and we're real close. So it is the full circle with the 3 little musketeers here.
Oh, I like how you put that. Yes, totally.
Yeah.
So you mentioned just being fortunate and having that support system. I was just wondering, because of the fact that I do advocate on the state and national level, and you hear stories of women sharing having to go to the oncologist's office by themselves, depending upon if they are in an urban or a rural setting. How did you feel like personally, just being able to have that support system and being able to rely on them when you were going through your diagnosis?
Well, my family, we're close. And my mom was kind of a fighter. She was diagnosed, and unfortunately, I think it was like 2000, she passed in 2005, but she had leukemia, fought it for a year, did great. But so that kind of bothered me that she lost her battle. But she just sat there and we were real close. I had family and friends and they're like, do you need anything? I could have done chemo, but they were already rating me at like a 97% cure rate. So I thought, I was just like, well, no, I'll skip that part. But my aunts went with me sometimes for radiation because they wanted to see what it was all about. And just, when I needed a getaway, I'd go up north to the woods, and it's just so peaceful up there to the family property, and could kind of clear my head and get away from everything. And I actually had a lot of support too with work. I was kind of surprised, but everybody was like, you need anything, just holler. So I really very, very lucky that way. Because like you said, unfortunately, people they don't have the support.
Yes, that's part of the reality, unfortunately, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending upon where you may live, or depending upon your circumstances when it comes to your insurance coverage, or just depending upon just your close-knit, support system. You may be one where more of an introvert and feel like you just want to just be able to just go through it, you know, on your own and not really, you know, kind of share. But then there are others who are constant sharers and need just that, you know, that comfort to be able to get through it because it is a difficult time.
Right.
So it's good to be able to hear you, you know, come out on the other side and still be able to have that. And now you still continuing to present day to 2021, you know, giving back and paying it forward is a blessing.
Yeah, I feel good that, like I said, I'm still around, still crazy. But yeah, and you know, like if you could tell your story to somebody else, and even the biggest part too is listening to somebody else, like you said, with working with the survivor tent, just listening to people come in, and a couple of the ladies, and they're like, well, I'm just going through it now. And I say, you're still a survivor. And, you know, some of them, they just need a hug. And it's like, hey, yeah, it's to sit down and listen. And, you know, if they start crying, you know, of course, then I start crying, but it's just being there for them and letting them express their feelings and getting their emotions out and say, you know, I've been through that. And, you know, I may not have been through what some people have been through, a lot more, but it's like, yeah, this is what it's all about. And the bigger the support circle to me is better.
Well, I thank you for sharing that. Just one last point of thought here. Just because we are at this point where we've had an opportunity to be able to know each other and personally through breast cancer and then come back via friends through Facebook as well. Are there some things that you could maybe just bestow upon me as your thoughts and wisdom on how we can continue to grow the Pink Table Talk and have these conversations come to life to be able to help women and men who may succumb with breast cancer and their support systems like you have?
I think what you're doing is great. It just keep going, keep getting out there. And like you said, men, I known a couple of guys that had close calls, and we talked, and they're a little more hesitant to come out with that, I've noticed. But I think the more we can get the word out, I am going to be doing the walk on October 9th. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys.
Virtual hug.
Yes. And I hope we could get more men to come out. But just I keep putting the words out there here and there. And if I can get a couple of more friends, like I do have some that are a little more quiet about it, and that if I could get them to step out a little bit. But I think just keep doing, just keep putting the word out there and opening the conversation.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I appreciate you being able to have a seat at the virtual Pink Table with me today.
Thank you. I am so honored.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, I look forward to seeing you, as you said, in person on October 9th of 2021 for the American Cancer Society Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, and for any one of you that will be viewing this. And hopefully we'll see you as well, and you'll want to share your story after hearing what Lynn had to share today. So once again, my name is Dana Johnson, and my special guest joining me was Lynn Burt. And it was an honor and a privilege and always a pleasure to speak with you. And you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Pink Table Talk. And also look for us on our YouTube channel, the Pink Table Talk, powered by Pink Perspectives. You can also look for us on the website, thepinktabletalk.org. Please follow, like, and share. Bye. The Pink Table Talk will be offering our fabulously scented, custom labeled Pink Table Talk candle.
each one hand-poured by Cheyenne Candles as a symbol of continuous support to the causes and awareness of breast cancer. The candlelight, we'd like to say, represents an eternal flame that will burn in memory to the lives lost and in commemoration to those who continue the fight with cancer and our never-ending crusade to bring awareness. Proceeds from purchasing go to the building of the Pink Tabletop Advocacy and Outreach, as well as our ability to support other programs and agencies in kind. Thank you for joining us.